Welcome to Breakfast Talkos, the podcast where we talk about whatever we want, including podcasts, which we'll be talking about in this episode. We're your hosts,
Andrew,
Brody,
and Cash.
Before we begin this episode, I would like to say something. At the end of this video, we have some important news.
It's very important. You do not want to miss out on this.
like, seriously, bro, you don't want to miss out. Okay, so I got to start this one. So yeah, today's topic is podcasts. Question mark.
Yes.
So
Should we add a question mark at the end of the
yeah,
title? Okay, podcast with a question mark. Let's go.
yeah. So podcast question mark. So today we're just gonna talk about everything podcasts on this podcast. Creative.
I guess I'm gonna start it off. Okay. So, there are many types of podcasts. Like, there could be podcasts about anything. Like, I don't know, say something about, like, English class. Like, there could be...
English class.
Like, I don't know. This is just for example. There could be, like, a podcast, I don't know, video about English. Like, I'm a Packers fan, and there are probably, like...
I think that was obvious in the last episode.
Oh, yeah. And there is a podcast about the Packers and all that. There's a podcast for everything.
There's a podcast of a lot of things.
Sports podcasts. And,
Story podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there are some podcasts that I do listen to.
Like what?
Hear that, guys? We listen to podcasts.
Oh my gosh. No,
Wow.
we listen to podcasts that... This is
I listen to Breakfast Talkos.
Oh.
Like every Monday morning when they come out, I listen to them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Huh.
You
What about you, Brody?
Yeah.
So, there's this very good. Okay, before we start promoting people, we're not sponsored by anything except ourselves.
Yeah, we're just kind of talking about these guys because, like,
Yeah.
they're good.
So, I have recently discovered a podcast with Markiplier, if you guys know who that is. Some of you older folks might not. But there's a podcast that's a story podcast, and it's called The Edge of Sleep. And it is the best story podcast I've come across.
The only podcast, story podcast he's ever listened to.
Yeah, well, I listened to the trailers to some, but
Well, yeah.
it's just so good.
Okay. Yeah, that is a good one. I started listening to that one recently too.
If you guys like story podcasts, I highly suggest that one. The intro is so hype. It's so awesome.
Yeah, I do listen to, like, some podcasts. Like, when I'm in bed, I'm about to fall asleep, I might put in my headphones and listen to this, like, Bigfoot podcast that I have. Yeah, so on Spotify, there's this, like, I don't know, this Bigfoot thing, and then I just listen to it. Sometimes I get scared, but, like, I like that feeling where I get scared, but it's not
I like
bad.
that feeling when I get scared right before bed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably like the only podcast I really listen to. And Breakfast Tacos, totally.
Yeah. Totally.
So, yeah, that's probably like the only podcast I really listen to.
Is the Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Bigfoot
the
podcast.
Bigfoot.
It's pretty interesting, kind of.
Yeah. I'd listen to a podcast on Bigfoot. So, yeah, I'm actually one of the very few people here who isn't, like, pretty new to listening to podcasts. I've been listening to podcasts for, like, the last 2 years, maybe. I listen to a lot of story podcasts. I watch a lot from Gen Z Media. They make a lot of good story podcasts that I listen to.
I might have to check them out.
Who's like more? Do you have more details about it?
Yeah. So, one, which was probably one of the first story podcasts I ever listened to. It's a little bit more kid friendly than Cash's.
Okay.
Which might be helpful for you. It's called 6 Minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Okay.
We have a class where we listen
So
to this.
we have this class where like almost every day we listen to this podcast. It's called 6 Minutes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. You guys should watch it.
So-
But make sure to watch.
So one of the big
Why am I saying watch? Listen.
Listen.
Make sure to listen.
So yeah, one of the big things on that podcast is that, well, as the name suggests, it's 6 minutes. So it's not like a couple other
Nice and
podcasts
short.
where it's like 45 minutes long. It's just 6 minutes, and then there's like 200 episodes. So it's like if you just don't have that much time, you just like pop it on for 6 minutes, and you're like, okay, cool. And it's like mystery, so you know, like mystery, and then again, kid friendly.
What
Family friendly.
separates that podcast from ours is that podcast has like
Multiple actors.
it's not just like people
storytelling.
sitting down and
It's
talking.
just an entirely
it's like an
different
actual
type.
people
It's
like
an entirely
walking and doing
different
their
type
stuff.
of podcast. Like we have a podcast. We talk about things,
A talk show.
anything we want to.
We have like
Yeah, like-
talk show type thing.
But in that one, like, you know, we
They
just
tell
we just
stories.
talk, but like,
Yeah.
it actually sounds like they're moving. Like,
Yeah.
they're going in a car. They start up the truck. There's
Like a
sound.
movie without.
Yeah,
visual.
it's like
Yeah,
kind of take a movie
basically,
without visual.
yeah.
And of course, they're always like saying what they're doing, but then of course like subtly, you know.
Yeah.
Because they gotta make it subtle. They're not like, I am now walking forward. Because that would just be super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are, like you said earlier, Brody, there are just so many podcasts out there about everything, about sports, stuff like us, story podcasts, everything. And there's I wonder how many podcasts there actually is. I'm gonna search
I'll
that
be
up.
right back.
But okay, while you got
Brody, what's your guess for how many podcasts there are?
a lot? I don't know.
Specific number, boys.
2,000, no, 10,120. But I actually.
3,452.
3,452
Can we cut this
podcasts?
out?
Yeah. You start it.
Okay, sorry. Sorry guys, Cash's Android phone isn't working. I'll be right back.
Okay, so Angie's gonna go search it up. What's your guess for how many podcasts? What did you say again?
Probably be like around 10,000 through 20,000.
10,000 through 20.
Well, like that's like a hard number because like that's just something you don't really know.
Well, I'm gonna say 200,000 podcasts because we have a small podcast.
It's not really
It's
big or
not small. Well, it is small.
It is small.
We're not big. We're not medium.
We're
We're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just imagine all the other podcasts out there. I can think of maybe, okay, well not very many because I don't listen to many podcasts, but I do listen to some podcasts. So I'm gonna say 200,000 podcasts is my guess.
So, drum roll, please. We're all wrong. There's about 850,000 podcasts.
I was close. Closer than you, Brody.
I don't know. That's just something you don't really know.
So yeah, that is a lot
I
of
searched it up at
podcasts.
one point or I was in a YouTube video or something.
But yeah,
Okay, so podcasts are different than almost any other type of social media reference to previous podcasts. Go watch that after this podcast, guys. Okay, cool. So it's where you listen to something. You don't watch a video. You're not just looking at pictures. You listen to it. It's
So you can
only the
be
audio.
doing other stuff when you listen to podcasts.
So yeah, that invents multitasking. Also, you know, the whole UV light. You're no longer doing that.
Oh yeah, the blue lights.
Yeah, the blue light. So you can walk around. You can take a walk while listening to a podcast.
Yeah. Or while you're cooking, or just. And you can also listen to Breakfast Tacos while you're doing whatever you're driving to work. Or
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's a really fun way to kind of like get stuff out on the internet which is like what we're doing. We were like getting together and we're like, yeah, we should start a podcast. And we're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And yeah, so it's actually let's go into the topic that what is it like to have a podcast? And I'm saying it's really fun.
It is pretty exciting.
It's a really great experience.
Oh yeah, it's very. I like doing it, it's something, and it's alright.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
Great.
It's exciting.
You guys can try it. It's pretty easy.
But you can't be as good as us. That's like impossible.
Okay.
Well,
All the
Okay,
other
and now
podcasts.
for our
Our-
news.
News.
Woo!
Okay, this is unfortunately the last episode of Breakfast Tacos, the very last episode of season 1. Cause we got more coming. Yeah.
oh yes.
We're going to be taking a short break, like about 1 week.
1-2 weeks.
1-2 weeks. Then we'll be back very shortly. New background music, new cover art, new topics. Everything is
But-
fresh.
It'll be the same old guys.
Oh yeah.
What's it called? Like the season
Okay,
2?
so this is kind of like a season 1.5. It's called Breakfast Tacos Summer Vacation because school is ending and it's summer. We're on summer vacation.
We're going to be. Currently,
We're going to be.
not.
We're not quite yet, but we will be, and it's going to be super awesome. We're going to be bringing you some more episodes and some very interesting stuff.
So yeah, we're hyped.
Oh, yeah.
And breakfast tacos.
Breakfast Tacos. Well, thank you for listening to Breakfast Tacos. In case you didn't know what you were listening to, we release a new episode every Monday morning to start your day off right, except for next week, which we'll be taking a short break.
And maybe the next week.
But that's
Hopefully not. But
Hopefully
Yeah,
not.
hopefully not.
As always, listen to Breakfast Tacos. And goodbye.
Bye.
bye guys.
See you later.